When the weather gets cold, your options and places you could hunt gets limited real fast. And that cold weather is going to push birds out into the field, and chances are there's going to be some open water somewhere on a larger body of water. But those birds, as we all know, are very resourceful, and they're going to find somewhere with a little bit of open water. And on this hunt, that little bit of open water that's somewhere else just so happens to be a stretch of river in Oklahoma with FowlCo Outfitters.
You'd be dead, boy. You'd be dead. Take him. Cindy.
Yep. Good girl, face it up, let's go, come on. What happens to it right here?
It's that red sand, that river sand, just makes them nasty, especially with the freezing water. Freezing water makes that red dirt stick, and you can't get a good clean picture of how pretty these mallards are, you know? Yeah, red dirt mallards. They're gaddies. Get ready.
Hey, here we go.
There's lots of lingo in duck hunting. Different parts of the country have different names for different birds. And this nickname comes from probably 5-6 years ago, hunting in Oklahoma with my buddy Casey. We were sitting in a field, in comes some gadwalls, and he says, "Those are cab drivers." I said, "What?" He said, "Think about it. A cab driver, meet. Sounds just like a cab driver sitting in traffic. Hits that horn, meet. So ever since then, anywhere that we have gone, anywhere that we've traveled, we've seen a gadwall, we have told the person or the people that's the nickname for the gadwall. And I think in a lot of those places, that name cab driver has stuck.
AKA cab drivers, is that what you call them? Gaddies?
Gaddies.
So there are river hunts that take place in the backwater, you know, in an oxbow, slack water, or even just stagnant water that's not moving whatsoever. And then there's water like what we were hunting in here. It is extremely fast paced, which makes retrieves for Nellie tough. We were doing our best to help her on any flock that came in or there was multiple birds down. We were out there trying to pick up one or two while she grabbed one. Very fast paced. As soon as the birds hit the water, they were off to the races. Without that fast paced water, without those riffles down there in front of us, chances are this water was going to be locked up. So we needed that fast paced water to be able to hunt here, but it did make for some very tough retrieves for Nellie.
Josh DeWitt with Brookstone Kennels. Today we're going to have a look at how to train for river retrieves. If you're like a lot of us, including myself, you don't have access to a river or a fast flowing creek. So how do you train for that in the off season? The way we do it is we try to find ourselves a pond or a piece of water that's got a nice long straightaway. If it's got a levee on it, that would be ideal, but at least a nice long bank. Because what we're going to have to do is try to set up as best we can a retrieve where you've got to get your dog downstream of a bird that's in the current that's flowing down. To do this, you've got to have a dog that's already handling pretty well, by handling left, right, and back. Because the way we do it is we typically line our dogs down the bank and we get them down ahead of the bird, stop them, and then handle them into the water with the thought that the bird and the dog will come together out in the stream and your dog's able to pick the bird and get back quickly. So that's what we're going to show you today. We'll set this up, handle the dogs into the water, and then you can practice this at home. So what we're going to have to do is set out 2 dummies, one in the water and then one on land here, because the dog's going to see this out in the water, and that's not what we want. What we want is to be able to get this dog down away from the bird, stop them, and handle them in. So we'll go ahead and put our mark into the water. Tell them no, leave it, leave that, heel. And now what we're going to do is set up a trailing memory down here on land so that we've got something to line these dogs to so that they pull off and go into this water. And what we're going to do is set up our dummy, sit down, where they can clearly see it. We want this where the dog can see it so that we can line them to it and then stop them and handle them off. What we're going to do is line him for the trailing memory, the one that we've left on land. But then we'll stop him short and handle him into the water. All back. Get on. Dead. Shake. Good boy. That's the exercise, folks. Now you can mix this up. Run them, handle them left, then turn it around, run them, handle them right, and you can even set this up with a back cast. Don't always just run it left or always run it right. Make sure that you're working on all 3 directions so that the dog's proficient when you get into this in the hunting field. But this is one way you can train for a river hunt where you've got a bird in a fast-moving current and you need to get your dog to it quickly.
On a cold weather hunt like this, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see your other ducks right at first light, early in the morning, and then you're going to get into the mallards mid to late morning. On this hunt, it was the complete opposite. We saw the bulk of the mallards right at first light and as the sun rose, and it really trickled off on then through the morning, but that's when the widgeon and the old cab driver really picked up.
Did it right, too.
Oh, good shot. Holy shit, that was a fart. Did you get that?
I got that one. Thank God no tripod. 'Cause that never would have happened with that.
They're coming, they're coming. Green, green, green.
They're gonna hook it. Now maybe hit him right.
Yeah, hit him now.
We went into this hunt on an icy, cold river in January thinking this was going to be a mallard shoot. And we were totally wrong, as so many times can be the case when you're waterfowl hunting. But old Mr. Cab Driver definitely saved the day. The mallard showed up early, not as many as we would hope for, but Mr. Gadwall put on a show for us. And you know what? We're duck hunters. We're not mallard hunters. We're not going to discriminate. And that's the great thing about Oklahoma, is the variety of different species down there. And FowlCo's got an awesome thing going on. Can't wait to get back there again. It's world-class hunting, and what's going to accompany that this year is incredible accommodations. The guys down there at FowlCo are building a beautiful, beautiful lodge. It overlooks a wetland project out the back. It's a gorgeous area. They're wrapping up construction on it now just in time for the season. Can't wait to get back down there again. Look them up at FowlCoOutfitters.com. Check them out at Facebook and Instagram, and thank you guys for watching.
Kill him, kill him. Kill him! Kill it.